Nigeria's long-running debate over state police has taken a significant turn. A senior police authority, Tunji Disu, has now indicated that the idea is no longer just theoretical, it is increasingly being treated as a future direction for the country's security structure. For governors pushing for more local control over policing, the message is clear: the conversation is moving forward. But what exactly does this mean for Nigeria's security system, governance, and national stability going forward? Let's break down the facts behind this serious development. Nigeria's long-running debate over state police may be entering a new phase. In a statement that has quickly attracted national attention, Inspector General of Police Tunji Disu said that the idea of state-controlled policing is no longer a distant discussion. According to him, state police has come to stay. For decades, Nigeria has operated a centralized policing structure where the federal government controls the Nigeria police force across all states. But growing security challenges, calls from governors, and pressure from policy experts have pushed the country to reconsider whether policing should remain entirely federal. Now, with the nation's top police officer signaling support for the concept, the conversation has taken on new urgency. And the question many Nigerians are asking is simple: is Nigeria truly preparing for a shift towards state police? If you follow developments that shape Nigeria's governance, security, and democracy, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our in-depth reports. Inspector General Tunji Disu explained that discussions around state police are becoming increasingly unavoidable. His remarks reflect a broader national conversation among policymakers, governors, and security experts who believe that a centralized policing structure may no longer be sufficient for a country as large and complex as Nigeria. Nigeria currently has more than 200 million people living across 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. Despite this large population and diverse geography, the Nigeria police force is still centrally managed from Abuja. This means operational decisions, major deployments, and key policy directions largely come from the federal level. For years, critics of this structure have argued that central control can sometimes slow responses to local security challenges and limit the ability of officers to respond quickly to community concerns. According to the Inspector General, the idea of state police is no longer simply a theoretical proposal. It is now part of serious national conversations about the future of Nigeria's security structure. The debate around state police has existed for decades, but it has intensified in recent years because of the changing security landscape across the country. Nigeria faces different types of security issues depending on the region. Communities in the north, south, and middle belt often experience different local challenges. Because of these differences, some analysts believe that a single centralized police system may not always respond effectively to every local situation. Another reason the discussion has gained momentum is the growing number of state-level security initiatives already operating across the country. Many states have created community security networks, regional security outfits, and local support structures designed to assist the federal police. These initiatives often work alongside the Nigeria police force, but they typically do not have full legal authority to perform all policing functions. As a result, many policymakers have begun asking whether states that already invest in security should also have constitutionally recognized police services under their control. If state police is eventually introduced, it would allow individual states to establish and manage their own law enforcement agencies. These agencies would focus primarily on maintaining order within their states, responding to local incidents, and strengthening community safety. The federal police will still exist and continue handling national responsibilities, but the overall structure would become more decentralized. Supporters of state police argue that this model could allow faster responses to incidents, improved cooperation with local communities, and stronger understanding of regional challenges. Because officers may be recruited from the communities they serve, they could also have better knowledge of local environments, languages, and social dynamics. However, the proposal has also generated strong concerns from some political leaders and policy analysts. One of the most frequently raised concerns involves the possibility of political influence. Some critics worry that if state governments control police forces directly, there is a risk that those forces could be used during political disputes or election periods. Nigeria's democratic institutions have developed significantly over the years, and many observers emphasize that any policing reform must include strong safeguards to protect civil liberties and democratic processes. Another concern relates to economic capacity. Not all Nigerian states have the same financial resources. Some analysts argue that establishing and maintaining a professional police force requires significant funding, training, equipment, and oversight. If some states struggle to provide these resources, there could be differences in security quality between states. Because of these issues, many experts say that if state police is eventually adopted, it must come with clear constitutional rules, accountability systems, and independent oversight structures. Under Nigeria's current constitution, policing falls under the authority of the federal government. This means that creating official state police forces would require constitutional amendments. Such amendments would involve approval from the National Assembly and support from state houses of assembly across the country. This process usually takes time because constitutional changes require broad political agreement. Nevertheless, the statement from Inspector General Tunji Disu suggests that the conversation is moving forward at the highest levels of national leadership. Many Nigerian governors have long supported the idea of state police. Their argument is based largely on proximity to local challenges. Governors often receive direct reports from communities about security concerns within their states. However, under the current structure, governors do not directly control police command structures. Some governors believe that having state-level police authority could improve coordination between local authorities and security agencies operating within their states. They argue that quicker decision-making and stronger local cooperation could improve community safety. Supporters of state police also often reference law enforcement systems in other countries. For example, in the United States, policing operates across several levels, including local police departments, state police agencies, and federal law enforcement organizations. Each level has defined responsibilities. Some Nigerian policy analysts believe that adopting a multi-layered structure, adapted to Nigeria's needs, could help strengthen accountability and efficiency. However, they also emphasize that Nigeria's political and social environment is unique, meaning any reform must be carefully designed to avoid overlapping authority or institutional conflicts. Nigeria has already taken some steps toward decentralization through community policing initiatives. Community policing encourages stronger relationships between residents and law enforcement agencies, allowing communities to participate more actively in identifying and preventing security concerns. Many observers believe community policing could serve as an important foundation if Nigeria eventually adopts state police. By strengthening trust between communities and officers, these programs could improve cooperation and information sharing. For Nigerians living abroad, discussions about state police may appear to be an internal policy issue. But in reality, security reforms often influence broader national stability and economic development. Many Nigerians in the diaspora maintain strong connections to their communities through family ties, business investments, and development projects. When a country improves its security framework and governance structures, it can strengthen investor confidence and support long-term economic planning. This is why debates about policing and institutional reforms often attract attention from Nigerians around the world. Following the Inspector General's remarks, attention is likely to turn toward policymakers and lawmakers. If the momentum around state police continues, the next steps could involve legislative proposals, constitutional review discussions, and consultations between federal and state governments. Civil society groups, legal experts, and policy analysts are also expected to contribute to the debate. Because policing reforms directly affect citizens' rights and democratic institutions, any changes will require careful planning and broad national consensus. At its core, the discussion about state police reflects a larger question about how Nigeria should structure its institutions for the future. Nigeria's population continues to grow, cities are expanding rapidly, and communities are becoming more complex. Institutions designed decades ago may need adjustments to meet modern realities. Reforms do not necessarily mean replacing existing systems entirely. Instead, they involve evaluating how institutions can evolve to become more responsive and effective. The statement from Inspector General Tunji Disu suggests that Nigeria may be approaching a moment where this conversation becomes more structured and policy-driven. For now, state police remains a proposal under discussion rather than an immediate policy change. But the fact that the country's top police official has acknowledged its growing relevance indicates that the national debate is entering a new stage. The challenge ahead will be ensuring that any reform balances local authority with national oversight while strengthening democratic accountability and public trust. Nigeria's security institutions have always evolved over time. And as this discussion continues, policymakers will face the responsibility of designing a system capable of supporting both national unity and local responsiveness. If you want more balanced reporting and clear explanations of major developments shaping Nigeria's politics and governance, subscribe to the channel and share this video with others following Nigerian affairs around the world.